Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. Welcome back, moms and dads, boys and girls, and children of all ages to the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. This week's episode sponsored to you by Shake Weight. Ladies, just shake that weight right off. When you hear this sound, then you know you got it right. You know, fitness.
Shake it.
And that sexy summer body is just right around the corner.
Shake it, don't break it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's been too long. It's been a week, but that's still too long to be away from my wonderful fans here at the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. Good morning to everybody listening on Rock Rage Radio. Am I talking too loud for you? Maybe we should have a show like this. It's Sunday mornings with Ludini, friends.
Yeah.
Should do something like that for
Sunday
morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got us. When I go to the thing to upload our things on Rock Rage, our shows on the Rock Rage, he's got us like in 3 different folders. So that we must be.
We
popular
know Sunday morning.
I mean, it's
the other shows.
I think he's running us like maybe different times. Like when they need something, they put us in there. And I'm always, and I shouldn't say this out loud, but sometimes I have had thoughts in the past like. They're gonna get rid of us. Like we're too goofy.
Screwed.
But they keep. So don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it'll be our dirty little Sunday secret.
Go to rockrageradio.com,
please,
and hang out with those guys. They've got merchandise and everything. It's a super cool website,
awesome.
And the great programming 24/7. Speaking of great programming, please check out our friends over at musicfromthe412.com. And you can find us on Lou Lombardi's Guitarist Inner Circle. Somebody posted on Facebook. Somebody posted the other day, "Rest in peace." What's his? Eric Gales? No, not Eric Gales. Yeah,
Soupy Sales.
Eric Gales. And I was like, no.
No, I know. I hate those.
No. And he says no. He says it was somebody whose last name, a blues guitarist who I vaguely heard of. His last name is King because there's like 50.
Sure.
Blues guitarist name, and of course he's black. Name King. That wasn't being racist. I'm just being descriptive. I'm not. I mean, he was a black guy who passed away, and the guy was like, "I'm so sorry, I put the wrong name on it." I'm like, okay, don't scare me like that.
Yeah, you immediately your heart skips a beat, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
And
Eric looks like Eric Gales looks like a big guy, but when you see him in pictures, like there's all guys of that ilk hang out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see him in pictures with like other like famous guitar players, he's like a little guy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's like Kevin Hart
small,
little. But I mean, he's like, I'm not a big guy, at all. So I was like, hey, us little guys got to stick together. But he still might be several inches taller than me. Anyways, you guys all know that Billy Barty, the famous little person, he was a relative of mine, so it runs in the family.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How long have I known you?
Yeah,
and now you're telling me this?
Yeah, he's like a 19th cousin, 7 times removed.
That's awesome.
Like on my dad's side. Whatever. Wow. Anyways, that's not what we're not here to talk about anything about that. We're not getting into that. But Mr. Pittsburgh himself, Pittsburgh Kevin, is here.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh, God, Pittsburgh Kevin. What in the wide world of sports is going on with you this week?
Look, now, everybody knows I've talked about it. I've had some health things going on recently. Turning 60 sucks.
Go to health.
Go to health. I wish. But, every now and again, for as crappy as I feel sometimes, and I am starting to feel better, I look at our heroes, and I'm like, maybe my plight isn't so bad. Now, there's a fella. You may have heard of him from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and today. A fellow by the name of Rod Stewart. You know Rod, don't you?
If you want my body.
Yeah.
And you think I'm sexy.
Exactly, sir.
Come on, sugar. Let me know.
Hot legs? Yes. Well, this is definitely a sign of the times. That guy is still out touring. He's still out touring. Now, he's 81 years old. 81. Now, he was doing a show.
He's a Rolling Stones age.
Yeah.
He's in that because Ronnie played in his band when they were young.
Yeah, exactly. So he's 81. He's still out doing the shows, but it might be catching up to him because he was doing a show in Utah and he almost stumbled to the side of the stage during a song. I forget which song it was, and they had to bring him oxygen. That poor guy.
Could have been an altitude thing? That does happen to people
Utah.
too.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
There's mountains.
No,
there's mountains,
it's just that and even he's done interviews saying, I'm not in the best of health, but and people are like, oh, you should hang up. We had this discussion. Paul McCartney's still out there, and you know what? It's in your blood. You get to that point in your life,
Lemmy played until like 2 weeks before he died. Ozzy played until like 2 days before he died.
Chuck Berry was still out there.
Yeah.
So, but...
Frankie Valli, oh my God.
Frankie Valli's still out there. Yeah, it's... even the old David Lee Roth is still out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just 81 years old. Now, to put that in perspective, in my mind... I pictured my grandfather, who passed away when he was about 83 or so.
Okay.
And I think about him when he was 81, because he lived with us. And I'm like, I could not see my grandfather at 81 up there shaking his ass, singing about hot legs.
I think that there is some truth to the fact that if you do stuff like that and you keep doing it into older age, I think that it kind of keeps you kind of young.
It does keep you going, yeah. But hopefully he's doing better. He hasn't canceled any shows, so there you go. But he just might need a little O2 every now and again.
Yeah, that's all right.
Remember back in the day, Lou, where like bands would like drink on stage? No, now they're huffing O2. But God bless you, Rod Stewart. Keep on rocking, my brother.
So we were just checking out right before the podcast started. There's a video. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not that kind of video. Match Data, which is probably an AI site. The 100 best selling albums of all time, and it's just like just a little bit of background music, and they just kind of scrolls by.
Right.
It shows the artist and like how many records they sold. On this particular album sold that particular.
Yes.
So Ace of Base, remember them?
Yeah,
I saw the sign.
Yeah, they're
that
one
album
big
sold
hit. Yeah.
25 million copies.
What? What?
It was a different era. It was 1993. I mean, it was like, people bought albums. I mean, it was of course, the king of pop himself was way out ahead of everybody at the end with 60. Yeah, with the 66 million. But I mean, even Bat Out of Hell sold 47 million albums.
Yeah.
The second one was like 55 or 56 million. Albums was Back in Black by AC/DC.
Yeah, well, okay, I can see.
There were several on there that were absolutely no surprise at all, like Dark Side of the Moon.
Right, Purple Rain was up there.
Purple Rain, was very high. Like a Virgin and True Blue by Madonna. Those were massive. A couple of Whitney Houston albums.
Sure.
Couple of Kiss albums, of course. Some soundtracks that were like the Dirty Dancing soundtrack was on there. It sold a lot of records.
Saturday Night Fever, I'm sure, was up there. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
And real quick, this is a fun video. Go check out the Guitar Geek. He released a video this past week. This giant pedal will fix your entire life.
Oh, is that actually? There's a little thumbnail there I'm looking at, and the pedal's huge. And I thought it was. Sometimes they'll blow up the product. Is that the actual size of it?
Okay, so he plays and reviews this DS1 that's like the size of like my head.
It is the size. It's huge.
It's huge. It's massive. Okay, and it is not something that is actually made by Boss. They don't actually make it, but there's a guy that's makes these in onesies and twosies just for like a lark, and you can write to him. And it's all the information is in the video, and he'll make you one. And he was actually comparing the two. He was comparing it to the actual DS1. Like, what does it sound like? I think it actually sounds kind of better.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate the DS1, but I think it's a cool pedal, depending on what you pair it with. But the only thing of it is like it'd be super cool to like just have in the studio, and that's why he got it. His name's Andy. He has it just sitting like behind him now. Part of his backdrop, but I mean, it would be impractical for your pedal board. You know, it just,
it's the size of your pedal board.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able, you wouldn't miss the switch. You know,
no, not at all.
You know, and the DS1 circuit isn't that big, so like most of it's, the way he was handling it on camera, it looks like it's very light.
I would
you know
hope
what I mean?
so.
Yeah, it wouldn't have
not
a
much
lot
in
of heft to it because like it's that's a very simple circuit. You know, a couple of transistors, a couple of resistors, probably a chip and some. You know, some kind of op amp and a couple of resistors and capacitors. It's a fun video. Go check it out.
There you go.
Guitar nerds will enjoy it.
Yes.
So Bon Jovi. So I cut this off of Rock Feed. Yeah, John Bon himself. He says he can come back.
Okay.
He said that he went for vocal surgery, and it was not it was a success, but it wasn't like overnight, like boom.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Time. It was and he says it was about a 3 to 4 year recovery to go through with that. So he does not sound like he did exactly.
Yeah.
But he says that he can do it, and his wife is giving him the thumbs up. I guess.
Okay.
He did the last show that they did a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know, he thought he did okay, came off the stage, and his wife says, honey, I think it's time to retire.
Yowza.
And I left a comment on the video. My comment is, he needs to divorce that bitch immediately.
Okay.
What does a woman know? Come on now.
She just wants him around to do the dishes.
That's right.
Come on, I see right through that ploy.
Gee whiz, you know.
Wow.
Anyways, guys, what'd you get into? What else did you get into?
So, you were talking about pedals and stuff. I'm going to give this lady a shout out. Pedals and that.
Let's get down to pedals and that.
I'm going to give this lady a shout out. Again, I've talked about her. I talked about her a couple of podcasts ago. And her handle is Miss Shy Should Die. And what she does, she's an instruments and electronics repair person. And every time she pops up on my TikTok, the TikToks, she's on Facebook, and what she'll do is somebody will send her like an old amp head or an old fuzz pedal or something like that, and they're like, it's not working. She's very knowledgeable. She'll take the thing apart and she'll show you why it's not working. She has a very raspy voice. I think she has GERD. For those gastroesophageal reflux, and it's affected her voice. So she's got this really raspy voice, but it's kind of sexy. But anyway, she'll say, "Yeah, look at this capacitor right here. This is why this isn't working." The capacitor's like bulging, and she'll explain why. She's very cool. So I'm going to give her a shout out real quick. Miss Shy needs to die.
Well, how do you Shy? Could be spelled a million different ways.
SHY. It's all one thing. Just like Pittsburgh, Kevin. It's all one thing. Miss Shy.
And is she a TikTok? What is
She's on TikTok and Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
She's very knowledgeable.
Okay,
very cool. If you have any interest in electronics and why things work the way they do, Miss Shy should die.
Miss Shy should die.
Pork chop should yes.
I finally, after years, so I bought this McCarty on Reverb handful of years ago, and I was adjusting the pickup height.
Okay.
Height.
Sure.
And on the neck pickup on the side for the lower strings.
Okay.
I went too far and the pickup dropped.
Oh no.
And it wouldn't catch. I couldn't catch it with the screw anymore.
Oh.
So that requires taking the strings off.
Yes, sir.
So I actually I didn't play it out like that, but I played it in videos and everything here, and I played it on the podcast like that for years. And then, you know how you just swap guitars around.
Yeah.
You kind of put that aside. You're like, and I'm like, when I bought it, and so when that happened, I'm like, okay, when I'm ready to change the strings,
yeah, that's when
I'll fix that.
Yes.
I'll fix that. So this past week,
yes.
We're talking like 2 years, 3 years later, I finally decided that I wanted to change the strings on it because I was like, this is such a cool guitar, and I always wanted a McCarty. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to play this guitar. This is stupid.
Yeah.
So I can't remember which night it was. If it was Saturday night Friday night. I was watching a movie. This is my favorite way to do this. I put a movie on. I just took my time. I think I even had a drink. I went real slow. And on that guitar, most of the PRSs, so I have 3 PRSs. One of them has locking tuners. The other 2 do not. The one that I have in my hand right now, my SE, does not. And the McCarty does not come stock with locking tuners. Okay. And I think the idea was they were trying to really capture that 50s vintage like Gibson vibe with it. Sure. So they didn't go that route with those tuners. And someday we change fucking tuners on anything. Yeah. Anyway, I was impressed with myself because I did a pretty damn good job because I'm so used to changing guitars with locking tuners. I didn't get typically what happens to me is I will get, one peg with a giant gob of windings on, and then one with hardly any, 2 windings on. Yeah. And I did pretty good. I got them all real nice and even the way they're supposed to be. There's no weirdness there. And I repaired that pickup situation was a little trickier. Yeah. Okay. Because there's a spring on the end of it. Yes. So I was having a hell of a time. So I had to take the other screw completely out, take the pickup completely out, take the pickup ring off, and kind of fiddle fuck with that. So I had to put the pickup ring on with the whole. I got it.
Been there, done that, brother.
And I'm, my eyes. I really probably need a table with one of them big magnifying
so you can see
I probably would have done it in a snap had I had that.
Right.
But because I'm doing it on the couch and I'm having a drink and I'm trying to keep it chill, my cat's climbing all over. Oh, by the way, my baby kitty, my Ivy, this was her first experience with Daddy changing strings.
Oh.
Cosby loves string change day. That's one of her favorite days because the strings are the long strings are hanging off. She goes crazy when you put the strings on and the extra string is hanging off. They go nuts. They love that.
I want that. I want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I'm doing all that, and I did get it together. Also, the guitar was filthy. You get all that from static electricity around the pickups. You get all dirt and dust built up. So I cleaned it really well, and it looks beautiful. And I put it together, and it sounded like it was fretting out.
Oh.
So I really had to loosen the truss rod a lot, and I looked it up online afterwards, and they come set up for 10 to 46.
Okay.
And I put on 9 to 42.
Because that's that will affect it. Yeah.
And that's what I put on everything.
Yeah.
And so that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
So when I got the whole guitar together and I tuned it up and I was playing, I'm like, man, it sounds really bright. And now listen, I'm not playing through a good amplifier. I have the bottom of the barrel crate amplifier in my living room just to make cheap noise.
Sure.
And I'm like, man, it just sounds so damn. The bridge pickup sounds so sounds kind of shrill. And I'm like, oh man, do I not like this guitar anymore? And I was getting kind of bummed out, Yeah. So I compared it to my Telecaster. I have a stock, a traditional type. It's a Highway 1, so it's got the 2 single coils. And what I noticed was, okay, it's like psychology of guitars, I guess. Psychological aspect of sound, whatever you want to call it. When I plugged the Tele in, I was like, oh, this bridge pickup sounds a lot better. Then I reached down and realized I had the tone on that Telecaster rolled way, way back. So when I opened it all the way up, it sounded much more like that PRS was sounding.
Yep.
And so then I A-B'd them back and forth. Actually, the PRS when you open up the tone control on the Telecaster, the PRS does sound a little bit fuller. I think what was happening was I was really expecting the bridge pickup on that PRS to be like a big, Les Paul thick kind of, and it doesn't quite. It's not really what it does. So I was like, and so I started looking up and could I put a Pearly Gates? That's one of my favorite pickups.
Yeah.
Pearly Gates in the bridge on this. They make them with the chrome, and you don't have to get la la la. So I was just noodling around on it. So I thought, before I do anything, let's plug this into a real amplifier, a good amplifier. So
go.
I brought it down here, and I plugged it into the Buddha, and it was magic.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop playing. It sounded so goddamn good, and I played for hours and hours and hours, well into the night. I couldn't believe how good that pickup sounded. I didn't want to ever get off of it. Also, by adjusting the volume and the tone, staying on the bridge pickup, there's so many sounds. And I remembered seeing interviews with David Grissom, who has they make what's the PRS they make for him, the DGT.
Okay,
which is essentially a McCarty, except it has a whammy bar.
Yeah,
It has the PRS tremolo on it. But he has played McCartys in the past. And he says in a lot of interviews, he's I'll play an entire gig, and I'll go like, oh crap, I never went to the neck pickup for anything. So I took it to rehearsal the other night.
Oh, okay.
And I was floored by how amazing it sounded. I was like, holy crap, this guitar, like, it's the difference. Like, I play that Telecaster, that not my Highway 1, but that it's the double humbucker deluxe vintage blah blah blah, whatever they call it. It's like a Les Paul for Telecaster players. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And I was like, swore by that guitar. But when I plugged this thing, when I plugged the McCarty, and I'm like, holy crap, this sounds like absolutely amazing. I have to get a little used to it because the string spacing is wider on that Telecaster.
Okay.
Than on the McCarty. The McCarty has a slightly, it isn't a narrow neck like a frickin' Rickenbacker, which I had to get rid of. But I just have to, pick. I'm hitting the wrong string sometimes with the pick. Because I'm used to certain string space. Anyways,
Yep.
I just wanted to tell that story because I got the McCarty back. It sounds great. I'm absolutely loving playing. We have a gig on Sunday afternoon, and I'm like totally stoked to take it and play. I mean, I've blown. I changed nothing else. I didn't swap any pedals out, nothing. I'm playing through a tiny little Fender combo amp, and I'm like, holy God in hell, this sound great. And it was like I had everything there. No matter what song we played, I ended up not going to the neck pickup. I played everything by just rolling, playing with the tone and the volume control. That does have coil taps. Paul Reed Smith has their own coil tapping thing that, like, it's coil tapping, but still the sounds are all humbucker.
Okay.
It's his magic. I mean, they're really. I mean, he really thought shit out, dude, on that. When he came up with those guitars, it's really amazing. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of, say. You wanted to say something about what you have some stuff on your list.
I got some stuff. I want to go back to the PRS. I've owned 4 PRSs. They were all custom 22s. They were all American made, and to just sit there and play them unplugged, can't beat them. I could never get the sound out of them that I wanted. And I think what it was is I was so used to Les Pauls with the thicker body, the more fuller sound, and I couldn't get that out of the PRSs. And I think the main thing was I was playing through the wrong amp. That's why I thought it was interesting when you said when you switched amps, boom, there it was. But I've had the same thing, only I wasn't smart enough to get a different amp. Anyway.
Actually, I found myself lowering the action back down a little bit because I don't think it was fretting out. I just think that it was that amp was giving everything such a tinny sound.
Right.
Yeah. So I ended up bringing the action back down. It's totally comfortable. I love it.
Cool. Excellent. So, Lou, in this day and age, you kids today are scratchy.
Sorry.
Scratchy pot.
I beg your pardon.
Scratchy pot. Spray it. Anyway, I was coming home the other day in the old car there, and a song came on, and sometimes a song will just take you back. And in this day and age where you can stream any song you want on any, Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, anything like that, you sometimes forget about the magic of, like, really discovering a song. And I'm going to tell you a story. Back in the day, a neighbor 2 doors up, he owned a thrift store. And one summer I needed a job. He goes, well, look, we need people to help sort out the donations that come in. Would you be willing to come down and do that for, a couple hours, a weekend? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So one of the boxes came in, had albums in them. And I'm talking like 1980, 81 maybe. And one of the albums was kind of it wasn't K-Tel, but it was a very similar thing where it just had all of today's hits, right? And I looked, I'm like, oh, I know some of these songs. And so I asked him if I could buy it. He goes, just take it. So I brought it home, put it on my little turntable.
What an honest young man you were.
Yeah. Cardboard.
Like, he's gonna get $2 for this. Like, I'm just
right.
take it.
Yeah. He's like, just take it. And I put it on, and you know the sound of the second the needle hits the vinyl.
Yeah. This sound.
Yeah, exactly, right? And out of nowhere, I hear this little laugh, and then...
Oh, wow.
It was Whole Lotta Love. Now, I'd heard the song on the radio, but I'd never heard the actual physical medium song. And I just sat back. I turned up the volume on my Victrola.
You had the one where you crank the thing, and it's got the giant cone.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it sounded great.
And and the song ended, and I'm like, whoa. The back and forth of the way down inside. Yeah, it's I had stereo, and I was going back and forth. And I literally picked the needle up and put it back down and just played it again. And listening to that on the way home, it didn't have the crackles of the vinyl, but it took me all the way back to being a young man, being 15 years old, and actually having that record, that vinyl, and hearing that needle. Because even though the music's coming out of the speaker, you can still hear the sound coming from the needle and the vinyl too. And it just adds to it. And it just took me all the way back. Do you ever have an experience like that where you hear a song and you go remember back?
I'm like, why is this song sounding so good to me right now? You know what I mean? It's just fuck. I remember being such and such years old, or being I was thinking about something like that the other day, and I can't remember which one it was. I know I've talked many times about straining at the strings to learn Limelight.
Yeah.
But it was another song that was kind of like that, and it came on the radio the other day, or in case you played it in a mix of something, and I'm like, oh wow, man,
right? Yeah.
What song that a song that there's been some Genesis songs that I haven't listened to in years, and they played on some 80s mixes that I just put on at work. And do you remember Misunderstanding?
Yeah.
I mean, they played it, and I was like,
it's one of the first songs I learned, and it's only 3 chords.
I hadn't heard that, and I remember at the time I was like, oh yeah, Genesis, whatever. But now it's I hadn't heard it, so I was like, wow, it just really took me back.
Yeah.
The other one by them that is this really cool song, and it's very long. It's called Abacab.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that was.
That was the bathroom song for the DJs.
Yeah.
Put this on and got a few minutes to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool stuff, dude. Can you stand a little more Rush talk, or am I killing you, Smalls?
No. You talk about Rush. I got some things about Rush. Maybe you know about this too.
Okay, so
go ahead.
One of the things is, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna.
Sure.
Please don't. I don't want you to cry or get upset.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say something, and I know it could be emotional. So just brace yourself.
Okay.
Could Rush survive if they had to replace another member?
Depends. Which one of the founding members?
Well, no, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, those other people really aren't members of Rush per se.
Okay, I was going to say, if they had to replace the keyboard player. God forbid, Annika.
You've got Geddy and you've got Alex. Could say one of them drop? I mean, they're what? They're both in late
70s. Yeah.
I mean, they both could. One of them could drop dead.
They might need oxygen soon. Rod Stewart be running out, giving no oxygen.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
So
No.
You don't think we could survive?
No. Just having Geddy Lee out there by himself and
some guitar player.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. No.
I think I agree too. I don't think if either one of those guys go, then I think that's it. I don't really think.
Yeah.
Now the other question is this: because Neil was done in 2015.
Sure. He was done. He wasn't coming back.
He was
done. He retired. Yeah.
So if Neil had not passed away, could you see this happening? What's happening now? Even with Neil walking to Earth.
Maybe. And here's why I say maybe, because Ged, I call him Ged because we're the first name.
Well, we do feel like we grew up with these guys.
I know this guy. I think Geddy and Alex really enjoy each other's company. They really enjoy playing with each other. And I think maybe...
I'm so sorry. Ignore that. Can you just continue your story?
Yeah, I will
try
continue.
to ignore that one.
I'll pretend it's not. I'm putting on a vinyl record right now. I think that as time went on, maybe those two would have been like, let's do something. And I think they may have contacted Neil and just to see. And if he wasn't into it, I think maybe they would have done something. Would Neil be cool with having a replacement drummer? I think he might be. I really do. I think he might be because he knew his time was over. He was retired, and even if he had survived all the way up to now, I think he'd rather remain retired. I think we talked about this. Would he, if there was a new Rush album, would he contribute? Yes, I think he would have. Definitely. He would have contributed to the new Rush album. But, yeah, if he was still alive, I think he would have given his blessing.
I think absolutely. I think he would have been because he was beat physically from that. Yeah. I think it'd have been go. Mm-hmm. He had no ego.
No,
he was one of the most mellow guys ever. I think it was genuine. I mean, what's his name? Evan Carmichael, who's a guy that does motivational stuff. He has a 30-minute, 35-minute video. All with Neil Peart from Rush sharing his wisdom about life and everything like that. It's really moving. If you get a chance, you can check it out. It's from a few years ago. But you could just tell he had no ego. He'd been like, "You guys want to go play? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Who are you gonna get?" You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's whatever. If they could do a record, hey, I have some lyrics I wrote. I'm sure it'd be I'm sure it'd be totally a non-issue. Absolutely.
You got some lyrics you can throw our way?
Absolutely. So, anyways,
yes.
So I want to get into this.
One more thing about Rush.
No,
one more thing.
Rush. You're killing me, Small.
I got a little worried today when I got notification that Rush has canceled their concert on June 24th. At Dickies Arena. Has nothing to do with the name. In Fort Worth. I'm like, oh no. Don't tell me one of them has got problems or whatever. It turns out what had happened, Lou, is they played a couple of shows down in Mexico City, down in Mexico. And there was apparently some problems with coming back to the United States. I don't know if it was not necessarily band members, but maybe crew members or maybe getting the equipment across the border. So they did cancel the show, but it wasn't because of any kind of illness or inability to play. Thank goodness they are rescheduling that concert for July 2nd. So thank goodness they're okay, but they did have to cancel a show. And I was like, okay, good. Nothing serious. All right, now we're done with Rush. Woo.
Okay.
All right.
So speaking of Rush, let's talk about Van Halen 3.
Yes.
I never listened to this full album.
Me either.
Oh, really?
I have never listened to it. You asked if I had it. I have all the other Van Halen, including the last one with David Lee. What was it? A Certain Kind of Truth or whatever. I even have that one, but I never got 3. So I've never heard it all the way through until today.
So the reason this caught my attention was there's a YouTuber who I really, really like. Seems like a super chill guy. His name is Marty. His YouTube channel is Marty5150.
Okay.
And he's the guy that goes sets a Marshall stack up in a mall.
Yes, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy. Super chill guy. Really enthusiastic about hard rock guitar. Van Halen, I believe, if I understand correctly, is his favorite band.
You would think.
And so he released a video this past week. Within a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
Van Halen 3 sank like the Titanic, and the reason is, and he goes into why he thinks, the reason why he doesn't play Wolfgang guitars.
Okay.
And he goes into his, sort of does a review of the album, talks about Wolfgang guitars, talks about the Peavey era.
Sure.
Eddie Van Halen. So you wanted to kind of talk about that
talk
too.
A little bit about
so we're going to put these two things kind of together.
All right.
In one thing. So just kind of jump in where you like. But
sure.
he had his gives a very scathing review of it. He says he hadn't listened to it in many years. What's so interesting is because he's such a hardcore Van Halen fan, he wasn't one of the people that ran out and bought the album when it came out.
Right.
So it's interesting to get his perspective
yes.
on it,
He was there.
And he was there, and and he talked about how everybody was mystified by it. They didn't really understand what they were doing, and nobody liked poor Gary Sharon singing. Nobody really liked it, and it was just a big nothing burger. There was a kind of a build up about it.
Yeah.
One of his thoughts on it was this. Before I get into my thoughts on it and where I listened to the record and my was that one of my thoughts on it was that there was. We were all kind of, and he expressed this really well, and I think if I say this, I think you're going to understand this too.
Okay.
We were all kind of lost about what is Van Halen now.
Right.
You guys took us through this whole thing with David Lee Roth, and it was and there was all this drama, who's in, who's out, and then Dave's out.
Yep.
Nope, Dave's back in.
Yep.
And then they shut up with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that?
Yep.
And it was great. Sammy Hagar, they put out record after record, hit after hit after hit after hit. And we all, I'm the kind of fan, and I think you are too. Maybe I'm wrong. You can jump in and say if I'm speaking out of turn here. I'm the kind of fan that I wasn't so hardcore that I couldn't hear another singer with them.
Right.
They brought Sammy in, and he was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sounded
and
okay.
And so we're okay. We kind of all went along. We all and they did big tours, and they released these live. They did live album or live videos that they released. Concert videos and things like that. It was fantastic. Live Without a Net.
Live Without a Net was the first one.
Monsters of Rock. They did all these great things for all these years, and and we, it's tough to change singers one time and really hit it out of the park.
Right.
They did. I mean, they got lightning struck twice with it.
Yes.
Again, 3 times. And I think a lot of people were like, one of his suggestions for them, and I thought that this was kind of insightful, was maybe they should have brought Gary in and toured for a year. Got audiences used to seeing him with the band, what it looked like, what it felt like, what the vibe was, and then go do a record, and people may have been much more, invested. But now, Sammy disappeared. We were all in love with Sammy. Though I know there's the what do we call it? David Lee Roth derangement syndrome people out there.
David Devotee.
Yeah, they can't hear anything that doesn't have David Lee Roth on it. But other than those folks. Most of the world went along with Van Halen.
Yeah.
They're
like, this music is good. Okay.
We enjoyed it.
We'll give it a shot.
Right, exactly. And, then they put out this record. But watch Marty's video. It's good. He tells a little bit of his own personal story, which kind of informed what he felt about Van. This is so interesting because, I
need to go watch it.
So much of our love for certain albums and stuff like that has to do with kind of what was going on in our lives.
True.
These music.
It's our soundtrack.
It's the soundtrack of our lives. Yeah. Exactly. So he gets a little bit into that, and it's cool. He gets a little, he puts some feels out there. It's pretty cool. So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to this record because I never listened. Without You is the only song I ever heard.
Uh-huh.
And so I listened to it. Wow.
Thank you.
What was your thought? I have some thoughts. What was your thought? All right, so I've been talking for 10 minutes
I went through track by track and wrote down little notes.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, and here's the thing. As I'm writing them down, I'm like, if we go track by track tonight, and I say, okay, One I Want, one of the songs, it's called One I Want, I would have been like, if I would have started talking about One I Want, I would not have the song in my head. Because I thought this whole album is very forgettable, not memorable at all. There's a couple songs I do remember just from listening to it today. Of course, I remember Without You because that was the one single, right. I guess. What was the other one? The other one I really liked was there we go. Where? Oh my gosh.
The other one that got played on the radio was Fire in the Hole.
Oh, the one I really liked was Ballad or the Bullet. And I wrote, okay, this has some balls behind it. Right now, I could not hum the thing to it.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
Exactly.
So here was my thought. Overall, it was not a bad album. I don't think it was a horrible, horrible album. It also was not a Van Halen album. Because everything seemed very subdued. Am I right? It seemed like a lot of the lead was in the background. It wasn't out front like the And one thing
I didn't. Okay.
The one thing is I wrote down is I can appreciate the contributions that Sam and Dave gave on previous Van Halen albums. I don't think Gary sat down and said, "Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, let's do it this way," which I know Sam and Dave both did. So this basically is all.
He probably came in there and was like, "It's Eddie's
whatever
band.
You
we
guys,
do what Eddie wants."
What do you guys want me to do? Want me to stand here, over here, and sing? Okay. Yeah. I think that's what it was.
I got the impression too that he was like a fill-in guy and not a member of the band. Yeah, I definitely get that vibe.
Definitely. So I really appreciate Dave and Sam. This album feels, like I said, subdued compared to past albums. It seemed very kind of, I don't want to say mature.
Okay. Well, see. Let me say that. Let me kind of jump in here and see if maybe I can clarify what you're saying a bit.
Okay.
One of the things is the themes to the songs. Where's Beautiful Girls?
Right.
Where's Jamie's Crying? Where is She's Good Enough? She's good enough to like. Where's Hot for Teacher?
Yeah.
Where are the sexy, fun? Where you can have a video with a bunch of girls. You have the videos with a bunch of girls in bikini. Like,
right.
Where are those songs? That's the stuff that Okay, I'm going to make a joke. Let's make Van Halen great again, right? It's like none of that's there. It's like this more introspective kind of lyrics that are probably what Gary was probably used to writing. With at the time with what he was doing, because this was when Extreme had done Waiting for the Punchline, and they were in their darker phase. They were doing more kind of serious kind of songs, and the other thing is I don't think he's used well. Like he's for almost the whole album. He first of all, he's a great range, and almost the whole album he's doing that kind of like growly thing that he does, and that isn't even the best use of his voice. Like he has a beautiful falsetto. Like he's like he doesn't. Where is the like really amazing like singing? Because he can sing as well as Sammy Hagar can sing.
That's what I wrote.
Listen to any Extreme album, and you can hear him sing really, really well, beautifully. And it's like that. Where is that guy? He's not on the album.
That's what I wrote. I said, is he actually trying to sound like Sammy? Because it sounds like Gary doing a version of Sammy.
What he thinks Sammy sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's too. It's too shouty. And okay, so. Songs are too dark, and I think by subdued, I think it's one of the things.
That's exactly it. It's not punchy. It's not party.
Where's the party? Exactly. I mean, but go ahead, continue, because I have. I'm going to jump in. Go ahead.
So the thing, because I paid a lot of attention to Eddie's work, and I'm like, it's really nothing new. It's like Eddie's like, oh, I did this before. Let me do it here.
I disagree there.
Okay.
I disagree there.
Okay.
I think that the album is their most adventurous album. I think it's their most experimental album. I think had they... Okay, here I'm going to talk about Mike Post. Yeah, it's that Mike Post. Hill Street Blues.
Right.
That guy that wrote all the songs.
Song guy.
I know, he wrote the team. And there's great songs. There's some of
Believe
the
it or
greatest
not.
music ever. Yeah, exactly. This is absolutely amazing music. But it's what he doesn't know a hill of beans about a Van Halen album.
Right.
And I was wondering if Eddie brought him in because he would be a pushover. And you know that Alex doesn't play drums on this.
Yeah. Oh, what?
He might be playing it a few times. Eddie played most of the drum parts.
So it's an Eddie Van Halen album. It's not a Van Halen album.
Yeah,
it's an Eddie Van Halen album.
So one of the things that Marty 5150, ironically, does not like about this album is he doesn't like Eddie's tone because he's playing through the 5150 amplifier.
Interesting.
This is one of the things I love about this album. Okay. I love Eddie's tone on this album, specifically on the riffs. When you get into solos, like they're doing little things, they're adding compression and stuff to kind of boost things. Not always.
Yeah.
Not always. But that 5150 has this, like, really dry distortion sound that you really have to have awesome chops to play that amplifier. Like, it is tough to play if you can't play your freaking ass off like an Eddie Van Halen. And that's one of the things, like, every time I would hear the guitar, I was like, oh man, it's so satisfying. I loved his tone on it. I think he did a lot of stuff that was like, I think the riffs and stuff were like, he went in different places that we're not really used to hearing Van Halen go in. What I'm going to add, though, however, he went to too many places. This album is over an hour long.
All over the place.
The album is over an hour long.
12 songs, bro.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. It's over
12 songs, bro.
Listen, Without You, 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh.
One I Want, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. From Afar, 5:24, almost 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Water Dog, 5.5 minutes. Once is almost 8 minutes long. Fire in the Hole, 5.5 minutes. Josephine, over 5.5 minutes. Year to the Day, 8.5 freaking minutes. Ballad or a Bullet, that's 5.5 minutes. And How Many Say I is 6 minutes long. No, your producer is supposed to rein you in.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody like Ted Templeman. So one of the songs played was Without You, which was the single. And one of the reasons it finally struck me, like, there are too many ideas in that song. Yeah. Like a Ted Templeman or like a Bob Rock or somebody like that would have been okay. And like here's where I'm hearing the hook, or I don't hear a hook yet.
Yes.
Let's work that out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Somebody like that would have really, like Dan Huff, somebody like that would have worked with them to really like hone these songs down that have been 3.5 minute bangers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That have been with the great Michael Anthony coming in with the harmonies and the whole thing. Like, you know, there's none of that there. Like, it desperately needed it. I love the experimentation. Like, one of the songs on the record I think is super cool. It's a kind of spooky balladish kind of song. It's called From Afar. I think it is a really cool idea, but it's not done.
Yeah.
It's less like we throw everything in there and without no, like, you know, discipline. It's just like, okay, you know, and what this sounds like is like, you know, Eddie Van Halen demos, and then he told Gary to make up something to sing on, and then they released it as an album.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he did. I really have to tell you, man, the last song is that just sucks giant, huge testicles out of my ass. Why? And it's the last song. It's 6 minutes long. It's this piano ballad. Yeah, I know we can play the piano. Like, nobody buys a Van Halen album.
And that's Ed singing, right? On that last song?
He might be singing. Gary's singing too.
Yeah, but Ed does sing on that one. That's how many I say I? Is that
funny,
it?
How many say I? You know, in Marty's review of it, he said he couldn't finish it. He said, I had to turn it off. I couldn't even finish that song. You know, Josephina was another one that people kind of I think may have got a little bit of play, but that song's it's not together. Like, you know, like a lot of songs have Dirty Water Dog has a kind of, if it's a song I'm thinking of, has a kind of like Tusk by Fleetwood Mac kind of drum thing going in. If I remember correctly, that thing. And I thought that was like, oh, that's a neat, in a Van Halen, that's kind of cool. Yeah. But I think you would have felt completely different if these songs were 3.5 to 4 minutes with really awesome single. Exactly what you said. You started out, you said the exact right thing. You didn't walk away humming or remembering any songs. And there was no song I want to go, I want to hear that one again. Not one.
Yeah. Do you remember anything about Year to Day? Year to Day kind of starts off kind of softer, but then like it kicks into an overdrive kind of version. Yeah. Remember? And my thought was, why not do the whole song like that overdrive? It would be like such a heavy bluesy, almost like an AC/DC ride on kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. No, there's way too much. Like, I love some experimentation, and also they open the album with New World, which is this like instrumental ballad type thing. No, the album's called Van Halen 3. You need to come out with a banger, like something that's just gonna like
kaboom.
Like, oh yes, Van Halen is back. We want to rock. Throw your panties on the stage, ladies. You know what I mean? That kind of, there's nothing like that. What we fell in love with about Van Halen is like just is non-existent here on this record. So it's a double-edged sword in some ways because I respect them experimenting. It'll be
sure
if they could have found some way to shape these songs with a little bit of that, experimentation into Van Halen songs.
Yes.
And told Gary, sing. You don't have to yell the whole time.
Right.
Because he can't sing.
You're not Sammy. You're Gary.
Yeah, be Gary.
Be Gary
in Van Halen. I think it had an opportunity to really be Van Halen 3.
Yeah,
but they
needed a producer with balls to say, guys.
Yeah,
or
Eddie.
better yet, Ed.
Eddie. Ed. And he needed. I'm not exactly sure why Alex wasn't super involved with this record. I don't know.
He's drunk.
Maybe.
I think they were both drunk.
Maybe he was really. Maybe this was an alcohol phase for Eddie. He wasn't. I remember him being on the cover of Guitar World magazine when they were putting this together, and he kind of looked like Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek. So he didn't look real emaciated like he did later on. But maybe he's always had.
Was he going through the cancer treatments? Maybe.
No, way before that. This is way before that. Way before that. That's when he started looking really sick.
Yeah.
He lost all his teeth and everything.
Right.
This rockers are so funny. Like there's pictures of Eddie with no teeth, and all of a sudden he's got these beautiful white teeth.
It's a miracle. Keith Richards.
Yeah, Keith Richards had no teeth in his 20s.
Rock and roll.
Now he's got beautiful.
Give me back your teeth.
Yeah, you know what I mean. All that money bought him some teeth. But I don't really. What else do you want to say about it?
A couple of notes. Primary, the instrumental.
Okay.
Now there's instrumentals like I don't know YYZ.
Yeah. Well, it's the same.
And then there's primary,
same as New World. Yeah.
Which is Eddie saying, "Hey, I got a tape of me noodling around. Why don't we just put that on the album?" That's exactly what.
A tape of you noodling around is Eruption.
Yeah.
Now put something on there that would where you reinvented the guitar in some way and did something. We talked about this I think on a previous podcast where it's really just the kind of beginning of their career where Eddie really was Eddie. There's just 5 albums or so where he's really then when Sammy comes in the band, he becomes more of a guitarist in a pop band, what I mean?
He's got that
his
Hager.
stuff is great, dude.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's Eddie freaking Van Halen, but that era of him reinventing everything. What he did though, what he was doing at that time, just so you think I'm not shitting on Van Halen because Van Halen is one of my favorite guitarists of all time. Is he was now innovating the guitar technology.
Right.
He was working with different guitar companies on the guitars themselves, the amplifiers, and things like that. So what I would like you to do, you want to say anything else about this?
One more thing,
okay,
and
because I want to get into the Peavey Years.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that right next leg. You hear? But the entire album, I kept wondering, when are the background vocals going to kick in?
I know, there's none of that.
Where is?
That's what I said.
Michael Anthony.
Yeah. Where's that? Yeah.
Every now and again, you get a little hint, but it'd be buried in the mix. It'd be way in the back, and I'm like, oh, come on.
It's not a Van Halen record. Without You has a kind of catchy thing, and I kept thinking to myself, if they would have wrote this with Sammy Hagar, he would have gussied it all up. He would have made it would have been a big pop hit. You know, and when he first joined, when I first heard that they were bringing Gary in, I thought they were going to go more in the "I Can't Stop Loving You" kind of direction,
right?
More really pop. You know what I mean? And no, that's not what they did.
No.
But a couple things, I do like Eddie's 5150 tone. Sorry, Marty, I really do. And Eddie's, I don't think that the drums are bad on here at all. In fact, I like this more kind of, some of the drums in place are real thunderous.
Yeah, and I did notice that.
I like that a lot. I thought that was cool. In fact, I thought that was something that was kind of missing from some and this is why I was like, there's some cool ideas here that never really turned into anything.
Which is interesting. You said Ed did a lot of the drums. I'm like, that explains it. Okay.
Yeah, Ed did a lot of the drums. So.
Because Alex loves to ride them cymbals. And at times it becomes very distracting. That's all I would hear. This album, I will say that. Yeah, the drums are like, it's not they're not annoying.
It's not cymbals the whole time. Yeah. I got you.
All
so, yeah, and so it's funny because you're going to talk about the Peavey Years.
Yes.
And this is one of the things that Marty 5150 talks about, and his take on it is he tells a story about owning a Peavey Wolfgang and what happened to him. I'm not going to tell his story. You should go watch his video. But I think that there's a lot of association with Van Halen 3 and the Peavey Years.
Yeah. And
I think that's where some of the kind of conflicts come in. But go ahead. You said you have something you want to talk about.
All right, so I found.
And then, guys, we're gonna real quick. We got some great music, including some new Pretty Reckless coming up here. So we're just about done here yapping at you. Go ahead, brother Kevin.
All right, so I found a YouTube channel called Sapulpa, Sapulpa Guitar Academy. And the thing that caught my eye, because we've talked about this, it was Eddie Van Halen, the Peavey Years. And I'm like, oh, hold me back. The Peavey Years. Hi, Eddie.
Anyway, that would have been awesome.
That would have been funny.
Awesome.
So part 1 is up on YouTube right now. I'm waiting for part 2 because I want to see where it went wrong. But this is where it went right. Eddie met this fella named Jose.
Can you see?
Jose Arredondo. And Arredondo would modify Eddie's Marshalls back in the day by changing the voltage. We've talked about this in the past.
Jose modded all kinds of Pete Thorne has a whole bunch of videos. He has a Jose mod.
Does he?
Marshall.
Does he? Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
so Jose knew what he was doing. So eventually Eddie says, hey, I want to build an amp and I want to mass produce it and sell it, but I want it to be affordable. I'm going to give Eddie credit for this. He goes, I want it to be affordable for the kid down the street that wants a really great sound.
At the end of the day, that's who Eddie was. And we didn't get to it today because we got to wrap up. But there's a great video by 5 Watt World about Charvel guitars. And they told the story about Eddie coming in there and he would just sit on the floor and play guitars while they build him a guitar or working on his guitars.
Right.
He's just that kid. But
he is. He's that kind of kid.
Yep.
So Jose tried to build it. It wasn't quite where Eddie wanted it to be. So Jose's like, look, I know PP. I know PP.
Oh my God,
He's
Mr. Pittsburgh, shame on you.
I know.
This is a family show after all.
Sorry, folks. I know people over at Ampeg because Jose used to work for Ampeg, and so he goes, "Let me have you go talk to the people at Ampeg." That meeting really didn't produce anything except that Michael Anthony went with them and ended up having a relationship with Ampeg.
He had relations.
Yes.
And they bore a son.
Yes, and they bore a son. So Michael Anthony.
His name was Boris.
Used a lot of Ampeg stuff. All right, there you go. Eddie next met with this guy by the name of Hartley Peavey.
Hartley.
Yeah. So initially, Hartley did want to do guitars and amps for Ed, but Ed he was working with Ernie Ball, Music Man at the time, so he hit nutballs. So the guitars were out. So Eddie, they just decided to do the amps. So Eddie initially loved the amp that they built for him, right? He took it down to Eddie. He loved it. The next day he calls him up and goes, you know what, I don't really like this amp. It sounds like cardboard.
Okay.
Nice.
Sounds like cardboard.
So here's the thing. Ed, you may find this hard to believe, Ed was drinking quite a bit at this time.
I never got that from him, that he liked to drink alcohol. That's strange.
So they would build him another one, bring it down to him. He's like, I love it. Next day, it's just not right. There's something it sounded great yesterday, but not today.
It sounded great yesterday.
So they ended up building 5 prototypes before Ed would sign off on it. All right, very good. The development of the 5150. Anyway, so those are the amps that he used on that. I think he started using them on the Balance tour.
Okay.
And then eventually that's what I was thinking. I'm like, his sound. Where's the Brown sound? Not realizing I just watched this documentary, and those were the 5150s, and now I'm like, oh yeah. So Ed's like, well, this is cool. I think the amp itself was under $700 and the cabinet was under $900, which a Marshall back in the day would have been $1,200 for the amp. And, it was a really big difference, for the kids that wanted to buy these amps. So Ed's like, look, I want them to have a combo so the kids don't have to lug all this shit or pay extra.
The combo.
The development of the 5150 combo was pretty much the same process, and he's like, I love it. Next day, it's missing. It's just missing
I don't love it. Well, that is. Have you ever gotten gear like that?
Mm-hmm.
You ever had like a, you got like you go through the honeymoon phase and you go like, yeah.
But the end of this particular part one, and I'm looking for part two to come out. In 1995, the relationship between Ed and Ernie Ball soured. So we know that, and they do have a video on that, so I'm gonna have to watch that too. So this was the point where Hartley's like, maybe we can build you some guitars, right? So I'm looking forward to part two. But the thing that really struck me is Eddie was hands-on. He just wasn't like, build me an amp, okay, that sounds good, or maybe tweak. No, he was there to the point where the guy from Peavey was actually sitting in 5150, the recording studio, with all these different boxes with different combinations of electronics, plugging them in, and Eddie would play. So he was really hands-on, and his big thing was make it affordable so the kid down the street, if he wants
and it was, in fact, until Eddie died, until you could buy an original 5150 head for under $500 on Reverb. After he passed away, they went up. They didn't skyrocket, but they went up a couple $100 bucks. They had like $750.
And it's really interesting because they sent him, when they went out to do the Van Halen 3 tour, they sent him 8 prototypes, and then they would send him like the actual production heads, the 51 heads, and Ed would end up sending the prototypes back because he loved the production. Just
well, that's good. That means
exactly.
They did what they set out to do.
So very cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to play through an actual 5150, try it.
Do it.
Really, you should really try it out. It is on my list of like a piece of gear I would really like to have.
Yeah.
They're really awesome. I used one for a little while. I was borrowing one. It was absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
Anyway, so we're going to get the hell out of here, guys. Don't forget to go to rockrageradio.com.
Yes.
And musicfromthe412.com. You can find us on Facebook, Lou Lombardi's Guitarist Inner Circle.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back with some great, we got some great music we're going to play for you guys.
Yeah.
Here, and we're going to have a good time. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here, Mr.
And starting to do TikToks again, starting to play my guitars, tell my stories and things like that. So come find me on the TikToks at Pittsburgh Kevin.
All right, guys, have a really great week, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Listen to some great music. Those of you who are listening to us on Rock Rage Radio, hold tight. We are coming right back. All right, everybody, have a great week. And as soon as I can find the button here,
there we go.
Catch everybody else on the next Ludini Rock and Roll Bird.
See ya.